Hello, Tandy Elisala here, your Chief Inspiration Officer, Chief Leadership Officer, helping women entrepreneurs rise above so they can lead their business like a rockstar CEO without the overwhelm. And today I am talking about list 7 for the 52 List for Happiness, weekly journaling for inspiration, positivity, balance, and joy by Maria Seal. There's the book. And list 7 is all about listing the greatest compliments and encouragement that you've ever received. And I'm going to share my top 10 and the one that was most meaningful for me. I'll probably start with that. No, I think I'll end with that. Okay. So sometimes it's hard for us to toot our own horn, and to share, things that, make us look good. So this was a fun little self-love exercise, right? Some of the greatest compliments I've ever received were from colleagues and friends about how inspiring I am, about how great of a leader I am, about how courageous I am for, kicking cancer's butt 4 times. I'm pretty badass. And the next would be my kids. My kids have told me in various ways, that they were so grateful for how I raised them. That is a huge compliment. One of my dearest friends, I remember this, in 2009, she sent me an email with a list, literally, of 50 things that she loved about me. It was precious. I printed it and I kept it near me so that I could refer to it on bad days. I love it. Doctors also. I had 2 doctors in particular that, really gave me a lot of encouragement and helped me to continue moving forward despite really difficult times. One of my doctors, Dr. Michaels, he said that, that it was our love and support in caregiving and how well of a job we were doing with that helped my parents to extend their life and, live as good a quality of life as possible, the last months and years of their life. And then another doctor of mine who did several of my facial reconstructions after cancer said that, he'd never seen a patient with the power of the mind like I do. And that with everything that I'd been through in life, he said that he'd never want to go through what I've been through, but if he had to, he would, take lessons from me about that. And that really meant a lot to me, coming from doctors, MDs in their field. This is a funny one, and if anybody in my family sees this video, they might laugh about this, but my Uncle Riley, a couple years ago, he was visiting and we were having lunch at Applebee's, and he was sharing with me how he had no idea that this scrawny little redhead kid with freckles was going to be so successful. And I was like, oh, okay. I took it as a compliment. Because he's hard to please. I know that. And he has high expectations. And so for him to say that and call me successful in his eyes meant a lot. When I was going through cancer, the last time, my son Stephen was letting his friends know. And in the process of letting his friends know, hi Francesca, his friends, I had 20 text messages in a 24-hour period from my then high school son's friends telling me how strong I was, how much they look up to me as a mother, what a great job I've done raising Stephen, that I'm strong and courageous and I'm going to get through cancer. Like hearing that from teenagers, from my son's friends, 20 of them, was really, it melted my heart. It melted my heart. And I still keep those messages. Another one was, I had over 50 people comment one time about different attributes and things like that that they enjoyed or believed about me. But the biggest by far, the greatest compliments, words of encouragement that I have ever received was from my dad. So many of us want our parents, especially our dads, to be proud of us, to love us, to say that, and my parents grew up in an age where they didn't connect emotionally very well, and they were kind of people of few words, and I was always a daddy's girl, and I always wanted to please my dad. I always wanted to hear the words, "I'm proud of you." Right? I'm proud of you. And I hear this from clients all over the globe. One of the biggest struggles is that acceptance from their father. And the father's role in, especially a young girl, but in people's lives, is critical. And unfortunately, my kids didn't have such a great role model in that regard, with their father. Yeah, Josie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. And so there were 2 moments in my life where I really felt that my dad was proud of me. I worked my butt off. I was doing so much. When I graduated with my master's degree, after the commencement ceremony, we were all gathered, and he put his arm around me. And he said, "I'm proud of you. Your mother and I are proud of you." I knew my dad was proud of me, and I knew that he loved me, but he didn't always say it. And that was the first time when I was 26 or 27 years old, was the first time that my dad said he was proud of me. That was a huge moment for me. And then the next time that my dad said that was in his late stage when he was dying. And we had been taking care of both my parents full-time for 2.5 years, about 2.5 at the time, a little over 2 at the time. 24/7 care. And my dad had memory loss. He had a traumatic brain injury. He had a lot of stuff going on and wasn't always present and with us. And I remember him saying, "Dandy, I thank you for taking care of your mother and I. I know he actually said, and I cried about this, that he felt this way. He said, no parent wants to be a burden on their children. And I'm sorry that we've been a burden, and I'm thankful that you're our daughter and that you've taken such good care of us. And of course I told him, you're not a burden. You're not a burden. Like, it's been my honor of my life to take care of you and Mom. And he got emotional, which I can count on one hand in my entire life when he did that. And for him to acknowledge me and to say thank you for taking such good care of us, that meant the world to me. So I carry those memories, and I carry those times in a special place in my heart. And we don't always toot our own horn. And so part of this list, with this journaling exercise I'm committed to every week, this week I encourage you to write out or type out your favorite compliments on a sheet of paper or print them. I asked in Facebook, let's see, today's Wednesday. I asked late last week, what are the biggest compliments you've ever received? And I've gotten a ton of responses on that, as well as in a group I posted that on. And it's amazing how many awesome qualities that you all have. And so I want you to take a moment and write them out, embrace them, like, frame them or tape them, or, some way to remind you to choose happiness and self-love. Because when you can take in compliments, right, when you can receive them, really receive them, and not deflect them, or, if we do that all too often, when you can just truly accept compliments and encouragement for what they are, which is a demonstration of love, then you can be comfortable knowing that you're choosing happiness, you're choosing self-love, and embrace those moments. Embrace those moments. So I'd love to hear, either as a comment to this video, or if you're live or watching the replay or the blog, I'd love to hear your greatest compliments and words of encouragement that have helped you, over the years and through the course of your life, and which ones have meant the most to you. I shared about my dad and how much his compliments and encouragement meant to me, and would love for you to share yours. All right, you have a great rest of your day, and I will be back next time talking about list 8 in the 52 happiness list. Take care.